Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. This is an art collage novel video. I made this series so you guys can experience the story faster. The video will focus on the character's psychology, the images are for illustration purposes only. The sound was sharp and piercing like a sword cry as it spread from the peak of the imperial city. The cultivators inside the divine capital heard this sharp tune and turned to look. The tune controlled chi and condensed it into energy blades in the air that shot toward the curtain-like barrier in the sky. Swoosh! The northern goshawk suddenly circled upward, dodging the sound wave. Master, there's something strange about that northern goshawk. Yi Tianqin could tell something was amiss with the northern goshawk. Should I kill it for you? Zhou shook his head and said, Conk, I didn't tell you to attack it. Try to communicate with it. Oh. Conk understood. Air flowed naturally from between her lips. The sound of the flute that rolled out in the surroundings was mellifluous. It was much better compared to the grating sound from earlier. At this moment, many civilians came out from their houses and gathered on the streets to look in the direction of the imperial city. With the academy disciples and evil sky pavilion on the move, only the people of Great Yen dared to show their faces in public. Before the imperial city, more than half of the divine capital was purged of spies. Golden figures with golden lotuses could be seen near the cultivators. When the civilians saw these avatars, the fear in their hearts gradually subsided. Then densely packed civilians walked toward the imperial city. Shortly after, some of the civilians fell to their knees. Thank you, the Patriarch of the Evil Sky Pavilion. Thank you for helping us, Patriarch. Ding. Received sincere kowtows from 502 individuals. Reward, 5,020 merit points. Ding. Received sincere kowtows from 1,300 individuals. Reward, 13,000 merit points. Ding. Received sincere kowtows from 2,030 individuals. Reward, 20,300 merit points. Zhou was pleased to hear the notifications. Unfortunately, after the battle in the divine capital, many civilians moved out of the city and did not return. There were fewer people now. On top of that, the spies that were causing trouble made many fear to return or come out from their houses. The area before the imperial city was not very wide. It was an incredible sight, seeing so many people kowtow to him. The melodious flute song reached the curtain like buried in the sky. The northern goshawk did not retreat. Instead, it became more excited and brutal. It charged toward the golden tissue mirror. Bam! The curtain-like barrier rippled. Conk stopped playing and said, Master, I told it to go away, but it wouldn't listen. The cultivators in the city were attracted by the commotion. When they saw the northern goshawk attacking the barrier, they were shocked. The golden mirror's task was not complete yet. If it was interrupted now, they would not be able to flush out the remaining spies. That would be a nightmare for the people. Conk added, It's taunting us. Zhou raised a palm and shouted, Cursed livestock. It refused a toast only to be forced to drink a forfeit. Unnamed, which was in the form of a bow now, materialized in his hand. Yi Tianqin had just recently returned to the Evil Sky Pavilion. She did not know how powerful her master was, nor did she recognize the weapon in her master's hand. She was slightly shocked to see Unnamed. Zhou gripped it, and blue light shone from between his fingers. Whiz. The bow that Unnamed had transformed into was shrouded by an energy as tall as Zhou. Then, an energy arrow appeared as he pulled the bowstring with his right hand. Swoosh. The arrow was shot. The unique sound of the arrow sailing in the air attracted the attention of the cultivators and civilians alike. All of them instinctively looked up. They saw a blue energy arrow shooting toward the sky-like barrier at a blinding speed. The northern goshawk flapped its wings and moved upward in an attempt to dodge the arrow. Alas, the energy arrow never missed. Bam! It hit the northern goshawk. The northern goshawk fell from the skies onto the side of the curtain-like barrier and slid down. Master, isn't that too much for a beast? Zhu Honggong looked at the sky. A great yin cultivator whom Zhu Honggong was not familiar with said in an admiring tone, Mr. 8th. The Patriarch is so cool. Naturally. Mr. 8th. Your boxing gloves are cooler. Zhu Honggong nearly cried when he heard this. Someone's finally praising my fucking boxing gloves. This shows that there are those with good taste in this world. I like what you're saying. Say some more, Zhu Honggong said, clearly enjoying the praise. Mr. 8th, your boxing gloves are by far the flashiest, most impressive, majestic, dazzling, and eye-catching weapon I have ever seen. You've got great taste, comrade, Zhu Honggong replied, pleased. At this moment, a loud clang sounded in the air. The overlord's spear stabbed into the ground, and the ground cracked. The two of them jumped in shock. Duanmu Sheng descended from the skies and landed between them. Clearly, the spies were completely annihilated. The cultivator's eyes widened. He hastily said, Mr. Third. It's you. I was almost blinded from the magnificence of your overlord's spear. Zhu Honggong. Duanmu Sheng glanced at the man. He retrieved his overlord's spear, gave it a gentle stroke, and said, but, of course. I clean this spear thrice a day. I won't let it be tainted by anything. In my eyes, no weapon under the heavens is a match for my overlord's spear. Bam. The huge northern goshawk landed on the city walls. Meanwhile, in the Rolian campground. Carol's eyes snapped open. He's skilled in archery as well. A shaman dressed in long robes with a tattooed face who stood before him grunted and spat out blood. Bazir, are you all right? Bazir waved his hand. He wiped the blood away from the edge of his lips and said, fortunately, this spell merely gave me the northern goshawk's sight. If we had a fated bond, I would have died. Carol's expression was grim as he said, I didn't expect that old villain to possess such a treasure. I don't think our scouts will survive this. Bazir said, he shone on everyone inside the divine capital using the curtain-like barrier in the sky as a mirror. Just how powerful is a 9-leaf cultivator? General Carol, why don't we negotiate for peace and coexist harmoniously? Bam. Carol slammed his hands on the table and said, Bazir, I respect you as a grand shaman, but please mind your words. Great Yen has been oppressing Lulan for years, don't you know that? Your nation has been paying tithes and sending women to Great Yen every year. How can you live with that? Bazir was at a loss for words. The Lotus Severing era is beneficial for Roli and Lulan. Although our operation has failed, it bought us some time. As of now, there hasn't been a second 9-leaf cultivator in Great Yen. We'll be able to conquer it soon. Bazir nodded. He was recovering from his wounds and slowly regained his clarity of mind. At this moment, a Rolian hurried into the campground. General. The Lulan army on the west of Heaven's Moat sent us a report. They lost the sword devil Yu Shangrong who left Liang province. Carol rose to his feet immediately. Before he could curse, the Rolian fell on one knee. Please forgive me, General. Yu Shangrong has a profound cultivation base. On top of that, he has a mount that's as fast as lightning. Carol was still angered by Bazir's earlier statement. When he received this news, he mercilessly mocked, Mr. Bazir, it's no wonder Lulan frequently sends its women to appease Great Yen. There's a reason you're weak. You. My lords, please stay your anger. Bazir said, what about you Rulians? If I remember correctly, your younger brother Karen died in Great Yen with his mount as well, right? Carol raised his hand and struck. Bam. The table cracked open. Bazir took a step back. However, he remained fearless. What are you trying to do? Carol desperately suppressed the flames of anger burning in him. He waved his hand, still seething with anger, and said, scram. Bazir cupped his fists together perfunctorily. He scoffed as turned around and left. The subordinate who brought the report ran up to him. Mr. Bazir, please calm down. The general is known for his honesty. Bazir snorted. With a wave of his sleeve, he left the campground. The subordinate looked around himself. A faint smile spread across his face. He mumbled, Mr. Seventh's plan is amazing. The land of buried bones in Lulan. Ji Liang shot past the dark forest. After a few days of speedy flight, even Yu Shangrong felt the need to alleviate his dry throat. He patted the horse's back to tell it to land. After landing, Yu Shangrong surveyed his surroundings. He could not see the end of the forest. The environment was dark and damp. Only dim light filtered through the canopy illuminated the surroundings. We'll reach our destination after we get past the land of buried bones. Yu Shangrong looked at Yu Zhenghai on Ji Liang's back with a faint smile. I hope this journey goes smoothly. If you die, I'll put the names of everyone from Lulan on my hit list. Nay. Ji Liang turned and blew on Yu Zhenghai, seemingly trying to wake him up. Alas, Yu Zhenghai's eyes remained close. He showed no signs of waking up. You agree with me, don't you? Yu Shangrong smiled. Nay. Naturally. I'll do what I can. Yu Shangrong turned to look at the dim forest. Saving someone is much more difficult than killing someone. After a moment of rest, Yu Shangrong stood up and leaped onto Ji Liang's back. They continued their journey westward and left the dim and damp forest. They maintained a low altitude as they flew west. They passed through a deserted valley and a vast, boundless plain. As they flew, Yu Shangrong looked around at his surroundings. The flatlands meant that he would have a great view, but at the same time, it meant that it was easy for others to spot him as well. In the past, he would not have cared about this. However, since someone's life was on the line, he would rather avoid as much trouble as he could. Ji Liang continued flying at a low altitude under the moonlight. At this moment, Yu Shangrong saw a damp spot. We're at the swamps. Ji Liang, fly higher. Nay. Yu Shangrong had been here many years ago. However, back then, he was here to challenge elites. He was rather emotional now that he had returned. Ji Liang crossed the swamps just as Yu Shangrong had instructed. Lulan's royal city was in view now that they arrived at the land beyond the swamp. From a distance, Lulan's royal city seemed mysterious and strange under the hazy moonlight. The land of buried bones, Yu Shangrong murmured when he saw the bones sticking out of the ground. Ji Liang's speed was incredible. After 15 minutes, they were drawing very close to the land of buried bones. A quagmire lay before them. Let's stop here. Yu Shangrong stopped advancing. Dozens of miles ahead of him were the settlements of Lulan's citizens. He looked at the quagmire in front of himself and softly sighed. We're here. This is the place where you crawled out of Death's grip for the first time. Behind him was the land of bones, where bones could be seen sticking out from the ground. It was a gloomy and stifling place. With Ji Liang's legendary speed, they had only flown for 15 minutes. Back then, Yu Zhenghai had not started cultivating yet. How long did he spend traversing the land of bones? Even the experiences of every evil Sky Pavilion disciple combined was difficult to compare to the pain Yu Zhenghai had endured. Yu Shangrong was in no hurry to do what he came here to do. Instead, he flew above the quagmire for a while and surveyed his surroundings. When he was convinced that there would be no disturbances, he brought Yu Zhenghai down. The moon shone on them and the quagmire. Without the land of buried bones behind them, the quagmire alone would have made for a scenic view. Yu Shangrong sensed the primal qi and the vitality in the surroundings. Indeed, he found them denser compared to other places. The forest was to his right and the land of buried bones was behind him. The river flowed before him. Further upstream was where Lulan's royal city was. They seemed to form a natural closed ring formation that could gather dense primal qi in the area. Yu Shangrong looked at the quagmire. He hesitated slightly before he made up his mind. This is your life and death tribulation. You'll have to face it sooner or later. He spread his hands, and his primal qi surged. The energy propped Yu Zhenghai up. Yu Shangrong waved his hand. Swoosh. Splash. Yu Zhenghai flew toward the center of the quagmire before he dropped down. Yu Shangrong straightened his hand. Bam. With a palm seal, he made sure Zhenghai was buried in the quagmire. Then, he no longer paid any attention to the quagmire. Instead, he shifted his gaze toward Ji Liang and said, Ji Liang. I'll be staying here for the next 49 days. Nay. Ji Liang trotted up to Yu Shangrong, seemingly reluctant to part with him. Yu Shangrong smiled and said, You want to stay? Nay. Ji Liang trotted in a circle around him. All right. Yu Shangrong patted Ji Liang. You and I get along well. After I obtain Master's permission when we return to the Evil Sky Pavilion, you'll be mine. Meanwhile, it was silent in the divine capital after the spies were annihilated with the help of the Golden Taishu mirror. Hua Chongyang sent the Nether Sect disciples to guard the 4 city gates. All those who enter would be thoroughly investigated. After this incident, the divine capital's residents lived the lives that they wanted. The impressive feat of flushing out the spies were also spread among the people. The Evil Sky Pavilion was even referred to as the Holy Sky Pavilion by some people. Inside Dajing Palace, Hua Chongyang completed his report of the incident in the divine capital. Lu Zhou stroked his beard and nodded. You can decide on the divine capital's matters. Lu Zhou was not an expert in governing an empire. He decided that it was better to leave this matter to someone else. Hua Chongyang scratched his head. Senior Ji, I'm not skilled in this as well. At this moment, the Big Dipper Academy's Zhou Yukai said, Senior Ji, there are a few things on my mind. Let's hear it. A wise man submits to circumstances. Anyone useful to me must be treated kindly. Zhou Yukai said, We'll need the court officials to govern the empire. What they need is just an opportunity and an excuse. From what I know, the Evil Sky Pavilion's Miss Fifth, Zhao Yu, is Princess Yun Zhao's orphan. She can present herself as the imperial family's orphan while the Nether Sect keeps the provinces in check and the court officials manage the empire's governance. When everything is back to normal, it won't be too late to pick a new monarch. The others beamed when they heard Zhou Yotsai's words. Can you persuade the court officials? Lu Zhou asked. Don't worry, Senior Ji. Leave this to me. I'll take care of it. Under normal circumstances, they would be difficult to persuade. On second thought, it had always been difficult to persuade others to take part in a grand scheme. Hua Chongyang said, things will proceed much more smoothly with the help of the court officials. The 9 provinces will stabilize soon. Lu Zhou stroked his beard and nodded. I'll leave the matters in the divine capital to you. I won't meddle unless necessary. Everyone present knew that the old man was more interested in cultivating. A person like him would not want to waste time on such matters. After Lu Zhou finished speaking, he rose to his feet, intending to leave. At this moment, a voice rang from outside Dajing Palace. Greetings, Master. Zhu Honggong deliberately clapped his hands together to catch everyone's attention. Then, he kneeled 3 times and kowtowed 9 times. The others were stunned by this. Clang. Duanmu Sheng struck the floor with his overlord's spear. Old Eighth was frightened to his feet. His extremely sincere acts of kneeling and kowtowing had been interrupted. Old Eighth, what are you doing? Duanmu Sheng asked. Huh? No, nothing. I was just thinking about how shiny the floor of the palace is. I think it's a shame if I don't greet Master with great fanfare. The others. Lu Zhou looked at Zhu Honggong and asked, What's it? Master, there's a letter from 4th senior brother. Kindly have a look. Bring it here. Zhu Honggong presented the letter respectfully. Lu Zhou opened the letter and read it. After reading it, he said, Yu Shangrong went to Lulan? When Yi Tianxin heard this, she was slightly shocked. Master, 2nd senior brother has severed his lotus and is recultivating. His cultivation base is far from its peak. I'm afraid he might be in danger, going so deep into Lulan's territory at this moment. Should I go and have a look? Zhu Honggong commented, 2nd senior brother is too reckless. He's also very stubborn. I have a bad feeling about this. Master. I feel that senior sister Tianxin is right. At the very least, senior sister Tianxin is at the 8-leaf stage. Duanmu Sheng said, 6th junior sister's condition is not too good as well. Zhu Honggong said, Master, why don't you go there? The divine capital is doing fine now. The others looked at Lu Zhou. Lu Zhou did not answer immediately. Instead, he asked, since he has departed, and he has help from Ji Liang, we'll let him be. Master, second senior brother. I believe in him. The others bowed and no longer commented on the matter. In the afternoon. In one of Dajing Palace's side halls. Lu Zhou opened the system dashboard. Merit points, 62,053. Remaining life, 35,584 days. Lu Zhou looked at his merit points that had exceeded 60,000 and nodded in satisfaction. After completing the mission of dealing with the spies, he gained about 50,000 merit points. Let's try some lucky draws. Ding. Spent 50 merit points. Thank you for your participation. Then, he did 10 consecutive draws, and he was thanked 10 times. Lu Zhou was slightly bewildered. Are you going to troll me again? Lucky draw. Ding. Spent 50 merit points and 11 luck points. Obtained strengthened reversal card X5, shining stone X1. Strengthened reversal card. Every use would reverse 1,000 days of life. Shining stone has a chance of raising a weapon's quality during the refining process.